By the end of this video, I will be the world record speedrunner for my favorite plane game. But what is a plane game? Well, if you've ever been on a long flight, you're probably familiar with these seatback screens. These screens, known as IFE or in-flight entertainment for long, have everything. The food and drink menu, movies that have been censored, a few episodes from a middle season of a popular TV show, and games. Most of these games don't require much input, and for good reason. The screens are extremely unresponsive. And because of this, most airplane games are puzzles and trivia, with a few weird exceptions. And there's one plane game that I love most, and that's Hidden Object Hunt. Hidden Object Hunt is exactly what it sounds like. You hunt for hidden objects. It's not all that unique of a game. In fact, the only thing it has going for it is that it's only playable on airplanes. Or is it? After a recent trip to Norway, I got really invested in these games on the planes. Luckily, I had recorded footage of some gameplay in case I wanted to make a video. And on the loading screen, you can see 3 letters that would be of immense help. G-E-E. When I got home, I immediately had to know more, so I googled Hidden Object Hunt, and I got a lot of results for different hidden object games. It was too generic a title. However, when I went to images, I did find it. And not only did I find that, I found something way better. A link to the APK download for it, and pretty much every other game on the plane. I kept digging into the company behind the games, Global Eagle Interactive, or now Anuvu, and I eventually found a link to a forum on Speedrun.com. As it turns out, there are people who speedrun airplane seat games. In that moment, I knew I had to be the best hidden object hunt player there is, and so I trained. I even got out my old phone with a shorter aspect ratio to make it a little easier to play. Unfortunately, I also messed up my screen recording, so... Anyway, it wasn't exactly hard to beat the record. There's one runner, EXDF, whose best time is 20 minutes, which I easily beat on my first practice run. But I had my own goals. See, I think the threshold of goodness at this game is when you beat each level in 20 seconds or under. Why 20 seconds? Because that's the time it takes me to click on each object without having to look for them. If it takes me over, I probably don't have them all memorized well. So, it was time to practice. For my first few discovery runs, I used this hint button. Thank God for the hint button. Because this level, the patio, is so bad. All the items are way too small and barely visible. For instance, look at this mushroom. How are you supposed to see that on a terrible plane screen? There's also questionable wording on hints like, this is a ground nut, this is a bird, and this do not enter sign is busy? And the worst thing about this game is the word bat, which is used for baseball and cricket bats, and also the animal, even when they have multiple types of bat on the screen. It's not a good game, but I still love it. Eventually, it was time to actually start trying to get the world record, and after about 40 minutes of runs, I actually had a pretty acceptable run, which I will now walk you through. I started the run by getting the kitchen done in 17 seconds, a very acceptable time, though not my best. Next to the children's room, which I did in an impressive 15 seconds. Also, if you look closely, there's Cranky Kong. Next, the garage, 17 seconds. Studio, 18. I do actually really like the studio, especially the statue, which has headphones on it. I also really like the next level, the bar, specifically the hint ceasefire, which refers to his fire extinguisher. Pretty good level, 17 seconds. But then it was time for the patio. Immediately, my time started to jump up. 25 seconds for the patio, 24 for the lounge, an acceptable 21 for the master bedroom, which is actually one of my favorite levels, and it's only really brought down by the fact that I haven't played the later levels because I usually reset really early on. The dining room had an abysmal 26 seconds, and so did the last and final level, the living room. The total time of the run, 3 minutes, 59 seconds, and 138 milliseconds. The average time for each level, 20.6 seconds. Just shy of that 20-second goal I wanted. But also, I don't care. Finally, I could submit my run to Speedrun.com and be the champion of Hidden Object Hunt. So I created an account, went to Hidden Object Hunt, and submitted my run. A day later, I got a message from EXDF, the mod, who asked about the fact that it clearly wasn't on a plane, but Speedrun.com doesn't allow new accounts to send messages, so I waited 7 days and responded. And then I waited. And then I waited some more. And actually, I'm still waiting. I even submitted a request to become a mod, but that was denied, so in conclusion, I'm the best, and the only proof is this video. And the full run in the description. But I don't want to be the best. I want Hidden Object Hunt to have an active, thriving community of speedrunners. So my challenge to you is to download the game, speedrun it, and post your best time. And maybe you'll win a prize. Goodbye.